It's really thick. I'll use those if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Notice I'm wearing gloves. It's helpful to wear gloves so I don't get shark juice all over my hands.
It's a scientific term for shark juice.
Yeah, you'll be tested on that. Shark juice. Remember that. I think that's what all scientists call it. Without mutilating it too much here. You want to try the other side?
Sure. I wonder if we... wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm.
See how there's a opening right there? It's gotta go, because it's coming from this, I bet it comes from here, and then goes straight down through.
Yeah, I wonder if that's all what the interior of the gills look like. That's really cool.
So, I don't exactly know how, let me see. Here we go. It's okay to kind of poke around and see where the soft tissue is, to be able to cut through that soft tissue. And then here, that's pretty cool. If you take a look, and I sliced through where the gills are, and you can unfold that and see the different folds of the gills.
There's like a flap for each. That's really cool.
They're also ridged on the inside. I don't know how you'll be able to see that when you do it on your own, just to allow for more surface area. So when the water passes through, you can collect as much as possible of the oxygen that's coming through the water. I'll go ahead and pin down that cartilage as well.
Make this easy on us here.
Filet for dinner?
Yeah. I hope you guys don't have lunch right after this. Okay. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of fish. All right, so what we're seeing here, again, this is new to me, so I'm going to do my best to tell you what we're seeing here, but best part about science is the explore comes first, the learning comes after. So this is allowing us to ask ourselves a lot of questions and go, I wonder what that is. I think this is this. We make hypotheses, and then we can discuss it afterwards to talk about what some of those features are and what they might mean. Okay, so I'm noticing something really big and floppy here. It's kind of a gray color. I'm noticing some other things like it. Okay, I'm only seeing two. I think there should be three. Maybe the middle one's smaller, but what you guys are looking at here is the liver. The liver is one of the largest organs inside the shark. It helps digest. I mean, the shark's going to eat some big things like fish and other things that take time to break down. Just like you, the liver helps in digestion. The other thing the liver does is it helps store oil. And unlike you, sharks don't have fat. They don't have fat bodies, or they don't have fat in their skin. Instead, all of that energy gets stored as oil. And what that helps the shark do is kind of float. It's less dense than water. It means it's lighter than water. And if you've ever put oil in water, like vegetable oil or something like that, you'd notice it would float. And that helps the shark from sinking all the way to the bottom. So the liver, which I'll let Mrs. Peterson start to remove here so we can see what's behind it, that helps with not only digestion but also helping the shark stay buoyant and floating.
When you're removing the internal organs, you want to get in and lift them up, kind of tug a little bit to see where they're connected. This will allow you to remove just that organ. It's kind of like playing surgeon, to see where that connection is, and then remove that through the connective tissue. If you can see, it just gently pulls right off. There's connective tissue there as well. So take your time.
I'll hold that up so you guys can see it. Isn't that awesome? So she's
really
doing
cool.
that. When you take out organs and those kinds of things, you'll have extra downtime. Feel free to explore them. If you want to cut it open to see what's inside.
Cross-section.
I'm gonna do a cross section right now. Yeah.
Go for it.
Or actually, I'll just let you cut it.
Okay. I'm gonna do right here.
Sure. Let's see what it looks like. Oh wow. That's kind of cool.
It's very meaty.
Meaty.
Yeah.
run your finger across that too. It feels, I don't know how to describe that. It feels like a really dense, spongy material almost. But so that's the liver there, folks. One of the coolest organs inside the shark. Okay, gosh, I wonder if this shark has anything in. This is the whole digestive tract. Unlike us, it's hard to tell the stomach from the small intestines, but that's basically what this is. It starts the stomach here. This connects up to the mouth, so you have a short passageway, which would be us. It would be the esophagus. Then you have a stomach here, which is what I'm touching, and then it runs down into the intestines. It keeps moving down into a colon that runs out the backside of the shark outside here, so that the food can pass straight through the shark this way. Okay. So here is the stomach. You can see there's some of that connective tissue that Mrs. Peterson was talking about. Something else cool behind here that you'll want to observe, and I'm running my finger along it. It kind of feels ribbed. It would be basically the rib cage of the shark. Extra protection here. You can see these lines here. That's what we're looking at here. Short piece of cartilage with some muscle tissue in between. But pretty cool. And then here's the Spart Shark is a vertebrate. That means it has vertebrae. I mean, it has a backbone just like us. That you can see here in the back of the shark runs all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom throughout the back caudal fin there. This little pointed triangular thing, this is the spleen. That helps blood filtration. It's responsible for a healthy immune system in the shark, so it keeps the shark from reacting negatively from toxins in the water. It might help filter some of that out. Protects it from disease and sickness, those kinds of things. But it's kind of a gray triangular shaped organ that's connected down here to the bottom of that.
Take out the spleen?
Sure. Mrs. Peterson wants to take out the spleen.
No, okay.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh, remove it? Sure.
Yeah.
Any opportunity to play surgeon.
Quick safety note here. Everything's very slick and slippery, all right? So when you're cutting things, don't rely on your fingers to hold things too tightly. And I'm noticing that I'm actually afraid to cut it because it's slippery, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with my forceps because it's not going to matter if my scissors accidentally nick the forceps. Okay, so there you go. And if the scissors would have nicked my fingers, that would have been bad. So there's the spleen. Kind of looks a lot like the liver. They're not as colorful as our frogs we dissect on the inside. All right, let's take out the stomach with whatever time we have left. We've been going a while here, but I want you guys to see that.
Sure.
And of course, let's see if this guy had lunch. And after that, we'll take a look at the heart as well.
As you're removing the digestive system of the shark, when you get up towards the heart, you're gonna need to cut through the muscle tissue. It's a little bit harder than the connective tissue, but most importantly, be careful not to nick that heart right there. There you go. And then while Mr. Hames was talking, what I did is I took the scissors and I followed the line of his incision all the way down through the opening in the back of the shark. So that's something that you may want to do as well, and then you can remove the whole digestive system.
Like a male shark, looks like. I forgot to go over on the external anatomy. You can identify if your shark's a male or female. Down here where you have those two bottom fins that were back here, you can't really see them anymore. They're just little flaps that are left over from our cuts. But a male shark will have clasps on the outside that help in the reproductive process. So that's just a sign that you have a male. I can help you identify those on Friday. All right, and last but not least.
Just cutting open the stomach?
Yes, of course. So here's the stomach.
There you go. Ooh, it's different textures as you go along. Oh,
Yeah.
something's in there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you can feel the muscle striations through the intestines, it's kind of like a deflated balloon. And I bet.
I don't really see anything inside there, but boy,
Interesting
very
internal
fascinating
structure.
looking texture. Boy, look at that.
There's some stomach contents.
There's something. We don't know what it is. Sometimes you find bones and those kinds of things, but wow.
Mm.
Very cool looking. So, might as well just, since I've started already, cut through the whole thing. There you go. There's the inside of the stomach for you. Just lay that right there. All right, and with our last thing we'll do is, before we clean up here, we'll remove the heart. Just back in here. If you want to, since I'm pulling that out, go ahead and cut.
Sure.
This is called teamwork, kids.
And as he gently tugs, it's easier to see that connective tissue.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, so here is the heart. Pretty cool. You can actually see this is one of the, probably an artery that is responsible for carrying blood away from the heart to the shark. The heart, if you don't know what that does, the reason it beats is it pumps blood all over your body and takes oxygen to all your cells so that you can get energy. So this right here is responsible for doing a lot. It carries blood and oxygen throughout the body, but pretty cool there. Place that there. If we want to, we can cut that open really quick just to see the inside. You can kind of see the inside there. A lot of fluid there.
Mm.
So you can see the inside there. Those are chambers that would allow the heart to go in there, and then it kind of pumps and squeezes them out, and then it works its way through the arteries of the shark.
Very cool.
All right. I think that about wraps it up, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, we'll start off with those on Friday. I'm very excited. Thanks, Mrs. Peterson.
Yep, of course. Enjoy.